This is a squirrel mill, or speaking English, a high-speed nut house. A mill is a hot rod or souped-up jalopy, which was once just a car. A squirrel is a space kid who can't get off the Earth, but is always trying. The result? Well, it should happen to all Sunday-type drivers. And another red-blooded American boy is a victim of his own pistons, a healthy thyroid, and Yankee ingenuity. Crime does not pay, but that's not what this lecture in the Coral Gables, Florida police station is all about. These boys aren't criminals. They're just show-offs, squirrels. And the point is, they really have something good to show off. That's the story behind the Ramblers Road Club of Miami. Thousands of boys like these might have picked up a cane pole and gone fishing, played sandlot baseball or church gym basketball. Instead, in a country with most of the world's automobiles and most of the world's highways, they became interested in engines, camshafts, and wheels. Hot rodding as a sport was born. The Ramblers, under the leadership of their own elected officers and the sponsorship of local police, regulate members and see to it that unregulated squirrels, traffic violators, are disciplined. Many motorists believe the hot rodder is a blue flame demon who would rather run you off the road than help you get on it. The Ramblers are changing that. Because it makes a good impression, and because their hands itch to get into the works, any works, the Ramblers are now known as knight errants of the highway. This hot rod Galahad not only rescues a lady in distress, but gets in a solid public relations lick, too. A hot rod usually starts out as a clunker. To the uninitiated, that's probably what all hot rods seem. Sway-back jalopies ready for the automotive version of the glue factory. In making an honest mill out of it, the boys make some solid mechanical judgments. Then in goes the weekly allowance, the spare time earnings, and the parts of several other clunkers. It's a form of cannibalism. So much for looks. Where in another age these boys might be learning the grip on a tennis racket, here they get the feel of a chain hoist. In another sport, it might be footwork and form. In this sport, it's gear ratios and power factors, transmissions and carburetors. A bigger and more powerful engine goes on a small car chassis, and this car gets a 4-pot alky setup, which means 4 carburetors that mix alcohol with the gasoline for extra zip. Ordinary cars have only one, and the alky, if any, is sometimes found in the driver. These boys put the stimulant where it will do more good, in the engine. A dashboard tachometer checks the RPMs, and the big echo cans on the exhaust give extra speed, and it must be admitted some extra noise. It may be weeks or it may be months, but here it is, the birth, or should we say rebirth, of a hot rod. A cam-jamming, petrol-perking, rejuvenated road jumper, and a pretty neat piece of transportation, too. The question now is, where does this souped-up power buggy go? To the streets and highways, where the annual traffic death rate climbs year by year? Not in Coral Gables, at any rate. It's out to the drag strip, a section officially set aside for time trials at specified times. This is the gathering place of the intelligentsia of intensified internal combustion, the carburetor cowboy's promised land. It's an ironclad regulation that all cars pass inspection on general condition, wheels, tires, and brakes, or be ruled off the track. Hubcaps come off lest they fly off and hit spectators. Only then does the mill get a number that means it is safe. Even then, human error is always possible. An ambulance and the club's sponsor stand by. Gasoline is spiked with alcohol, and the carburetor cocktail is stirred. And now comes the big moment, the drag. And sports cars, as well as reformed jalopies, compete against time over the quarter-mile drag course. These are chopped-down models, a term that pretty much explains itself. A safety bar across the top protects the driver in the event of a rollover. There's a safety belt in this breezy job, too. The premium is on acceleration. The foot must come off the gas pedal at the finish line, but the electronic timers may already have registered 100 miles an hour. But say, what's this? Granddaddy's hot rod? Thousands of youngsters like these have their fingers in cylinders, their noses tipped with grease. Tear 'em, scare 'em, they may seem to some observers as they pound the road, spraying rubber from tires. Nevertheless, drag strips like this are drawing more and more of them into healthy and sporting competition. The former traffic violator becomes an amateur engineer. The drag strip a proving ground of young ideas. It may be in the end that the quest for speed is merely another quest for progress, for perfection. The holy grail of these hot rod Galahads.